1.5 years ago, I planted these two genetically identical trident maples in two different kinds of soil. One in my standard bonsai mix and one in commercial potting mix. Today I'm going to repot them and find out what difference, if any, the two different soil types made. So, just looking at them, do you think you can tell which one is the bonsai mix and which is the commercial mix? I won't keep you in too much suspense. The one in the black container is my standard bonsai mix, and the one in the purple container is some commercial potting mix mixed with a bit of perlite. So before I go ahead and repot these, let's talk about the differences that you can see from the outside. Firstly, one thing I'm not considering is the overall height or growth of the tree. Nobody's ever claimed that bonsai mix was the best for making a plant grow quickly. Also, they were not exactly the same height when I put them in these soils. Now, one difference that I can immediately see, although it is subtle, is that the trident maple in the commercial potting mix has slightly darker green leaves. And I attribute that to probably the higher CEC of the commercial potting mix. It's got a lot more organics in it, whereas the one in the bonsai mix is mostly in volcanic type soils. It's also possible that the commercial mix had some fertilizer in it to start with, and that might account for the deeper green of the two different plants. I'm ending this experiment now because the trident maples have outgrown these small pots. And also I found this cool rock a while back and I want to plant my tridents on it. So I'll do that today as well. Another difference I can see is that yes, the one in the bonsai potting mix in fact does have finer ramification and smaller leaves. And I wasn't too sure I'd actually see that, but I can definitely see it, although it is a subtle distinction. So that's interesting. People often ask me what's in my bonsai mix, so here, once and for all, is the answer. 2 parts akadama, 2 parts composted pine bark, 1 part pumice, and 1 part lava rock. I sieve the soil to remove particles smaller than 1 millimeter. Actually, I'm using a gold pan for this. The remaining fines can be used for mame bonsai, kokedama, or making muck mixes for rock planting. For trees I'm just growing on, I use a generic potting mix. Whatever is driest, usually a cactus mix, and add about 1/3 perlite to aerate the soil. So now let's repot them and see what the roots look like. In theory, the one in the bonsai mix should have much finer roots, but I don't know. Let's find out. Of the things I wanted to test, this was the clearest difference. The root system on the trident maple growing in bonsai mix was much finer and more fibrous. The difference is impressive, and I wouldn't have guessed it from the appearance of the trees above the soil line. In the end, the results are perhaps not revolutionary, but it's good to see it for myself. A good quality bonsai soil will produce finer ramification, smaller leaves, and a finer and more fibrous root system. On the other hand, by the time I'd finished root pruning these trees and was ready to plant them on this rock, there wasn't much difference. And if anything, the one grown in a commercial potting mix seemed a little healthier. For trees that you're just trying to grow on, potting mix is fine. Perhaps mixed with some perlite, lava rock, or pumice to aerate the soil, whatever is cheap where you live. But for this planting, I want the trees to grow big, and it will be many years before they're ready for a bonsai pot, so I'm happy to use a soil based on commercial potting mix. Many years from now, when they're large and have gripped the rock tightly, they'll be ready for a good quality bonsai mix. Until then, I can wait. No.